All right, guys, welcome to the Off the Bench podcast. We got Kayla Allen on the line with us. Hey, how are you?
I am great. How are you doing?
Uh,
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it. So,
Of course.
Kayla, you listen to to a lot of the FFL training.
Yes, of course. It actually gets me through.
Yeah, tell me about it. That's what it did for us when we were in the early on in the business and throughout different levels of growth. There's always somebody that's been through what you're going through. Um,
Yeah.
so and how long have you been here? Family first.
June actually made it officially a year, so a year and about like a couple months now. Yeah.
Okay. Were you licensed before that, or did you just get licensed?
I just got licensed. I was completely new to this industry coming to FFL.
Nice. Okay. What did you do before selling insurance?
Yeah, I was working in property management actually for about 4 years. So had two promotions in the game, but that's what I was doing prior. So it was a completely opposite industry.
Yeah, it is. It's different. Like who was so I'd known a guy for a long time who was good friends with my sister, and he's
Okay.
seen me he's seen us, Jamie and I, in the industry for 12 years, and he's a great
Okay.
sales guy, like one of the best I've ever seen. And then he come here. He finally decided like he'd give this a shot. And he's like, "Man,
Mm,
I got on the phone and I got beat up." I said, "Yeah, it's a little bit different than the sales you're used to." And it is because
yeah.
you're not like property, real estate, jewelry, cars.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not very aggressive sales. It's kind of more like prospecting for, looking for potential permanent residents. But, most of those people are kind of already inquiring, and you're kind of dealing with a different clientele base.
sure.
And even their approach is a little different to that industry compared to here. So
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. It's not as aggressive as like traditional sales industry, such as what we do here.
Well, and I'm not giving you anything tangible either, other than peace of mind, but you can't see that. Right? Like you walk on
Yeah.
like I don't know anybody that just hops around car dealerships and walk around car lots. I don't go to a car dealership unless I'm trying to buy a car.
Exactly.
Right? So I want a car, that's why I'm there. But nobody
Mhm,
wants to talk
mhm.
about life insurance. Nobody wants to talk about death. So it's just a little bit different.
Yeah, definitely.
Walk me through your last 14 months, like getting started, what it looked like, ups, downs, and any moments where you
Yes.
go, I think I'm starting to understand this.
Yes, I love that question. Because it really my story kind of proves uh, the resources here are they do work. So when I started, I wasn't as good. I was very, I don't want to say robotic, but I stuck strictly to the fundamentals that were kind of taught to me. So, as I'm doing presentations and I'm meeting with clients, half the time I didn't even know what I was really doing, but I was working the process. So I was getting some activity and results, but I still didn't really understand what I was doing. Right.
Right?
Um, so I started off part time, and actually part time, I've made three times my monthly income that I was making at my full time job. So that was my cue to kind
Say that one more time. I want to make sure I heard
of,
that
yeah, I got you.
clearly.
Yes, so I was working 4 years with two whole promotions in the game with property management, and with working with FFL part time, I made three times my full time job salary in a month. So
Wow.
I was in shock. I was in disbelief. Didn't believe that it was possible. So, that was my cue. I said, you know what, I'm going to walk away from, like, to be honest with you, working in property management for 4 years, in total, including with my two promotions, I maybe had $4 of a raise in my career span with them.
Right.
So it was a no brainer for me. So I just transitioned to full time with FFL, and I my mentor Andre Brooks, he took me under, and I just remained coachable, and I stuck to the system that he put in front of me, and I was able to kind of actually bring up that income with FFL, almost immediately transition into full time when I was already kind of making, a good base number in the first place. That's what
Sure.
made me leave. Um, and then following that, I'm not gonna lie, this is why they say stay coachable, because I was a little hard headed, a little bit to certain aspects of the business, and I took the fall for that. So this is that point when we speak of adversity.
Yeah.
My mentor always mentioned to me, how to properly run your business here so that way it's stable, right? Just in case anything happens to you, because, we get sick, things happen, right? But I didn't take that serious. And I fell under a certain circumstances that didn't allow me to be able to meet with clients and actually run this business efficiently as I should. So for about 2 months, I was struggling. I'm not gonna lie, I was struggling. This was I want to say around like December, January of last year.
Right.
So I was struggling because I was new to running a business. You
Sure.
adopt every role here, you adopt HR, everything. It's totally worth it. But it's an adjustment, especially if you're not remaining coachable. So then this is when February came along, and I love this part. Conference, Miami conference.
Right.
I went to Miami conference, really with no income coming in, because I went through a personal situation that had to make me step back a little bit from the business. um, I was really in a bad space, but I was determined. I said, regardless, I have to make it to this conference. I prioritized it. I made sure that, hey, I came prepared with my note and papers, and just knew that I was coming there to be in full blown learning mode. Because I've had some of my mentors express how how informational the conference was going to be, because I've been to business conferences plenty of time. I've done different business ventures, but most of them were kind of like hype events. They weren't very kind of like productive when it
Hmm.
was like really some type of teaching and some nuggets and skill sets that we can kind of take away from these people that are sitting on this stage that are in the space that you want to be in, right? Um, so when I went to conference, it was very refreshing because it was actually informative. It wasn't meant to just, be glitz and glitter. It was
Right.
actually there to learn. It almost felt like you were in a fun lecture, like a college lecture. Like that's how informative the actual conference was, and I took it really serious. And from there, my production level just completely changed. I went up twice in comp since conference. I've been able to keep, consistently, about 15 to 20,000 in production every month. I've found a balance to it per se. I had a different approach with how I, kind of handle my appointments with my clients. I just learned to put the biggest thing I took from the conference was just putting the client first. Like that's
Sure.
the, no matter who was there, that's the same thing I heard everyone say. As long as you put them first, it's going to work out. And I came back home, I prioritized that. Retrained my brain under that perspective. And that's when the game changed. And from there, I've been able to have some success here. So the resources here, the conference, the training, the mentorship, like it really works, and it helps you get to where you need to go as long as you want it bad enough yourself.
I mean, shoot, I can wrap it up after that. Um, so let me ask you a question. When
Yeah.
how many? What's the most amount? What's the most families you've helped in a month?
The most families I've helped in a month was about 25.
Okay.
Yeah, like a little around 23, 25.
Okay.
Yep.
And so when you went through your stubbornness phase, hard-headed phase,
Yeah.
stubborn, same difference, because we're all hard-headed.
Yeah.
Um,
hmm
Did you struggle financially?
I definitely did. It was hard.
So I'm going to
It was hard.
I'm going to ask you a question, and this is more like a rhetorical question because I want people to hear this. The first thing you said was you had a full-time job. You were working part-time with Family First Life as an independent contractor. You were making 3 times the amount of money you were making part-time as you did make full-time. You were tripling your income working part-time, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, if folks, and you want to build a business, right, Kayla?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely.
So here's the biggest lesson if I'm looking at the situation, I would go, here's your biggest lesson. Can you imagine, right, if you would have lived the way you were living when you just had your full-time job, budget, what you bought, what you did, you would have continued to spend 1 times your salary, but you were making 3 times your salary, actually 4 because you had your full-time and then 3 times, so that's 4. So you'd have had essentially 3 months, every month would have been left over. Let's just say you did that for 3 months. That's 9 months worth of bills. Is there ever a reason you should have struggled financially?
To be honest with you, absolutely not.
Okay.
Like the thing that I love about this business in comparison to corporate America, you control your income here.
That's right.
You control how fast you move up or how slow you move up. Now, even though there's the good news is there's no cap here. There's the sky is literally limitless.
Right.
However, people sometimes, I feel like I look at it as like it's a privilege to have access to that type of environment because, even though you're gaining something, you have to give something too, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, yes, you're privileged to gain the opportunity to, be able to control your income and be in a space that literally there's no one here trying to suppress your talent and suppress your capabilities.
Right.
But at the same time, you have to give something. You have to give discipline. You have to give taking yourself serious. You have to give sacrifices. Like it's certain things that you have to give in order to receive and take full advantage of those opportunities that you have been privileged to take advantage of. But you also have to give something too. That makes sense.
No doubt.
And I kind of didn't understand that direct correlation of the relationship between the business and myself as far as the commitment on both ends. And that was that stubbornness. That was the hard-hittedness.
Sure.
You get so used to, you don't realize how conditioned you are.
Right.
When you're in corporate America, you're used to somebody telling you what to do. You're used to conforming to, hey, this person told me to do X, Y, and Z. So I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. There's nobody looking over your shoulder. You're completely responsible for, like right now as we speak, I have in front of my desk this wall sticker that says push yourself. No one else is going to do it for you.
That's right.
So it's like you got to realize what position you in and who you are, and not only how much value you add to your own business, but you have to understand how, I want to say how serious to take yourself, to be honest with you, because sometimes I feel like if you're not this business it's a proven system.
Sure.
Period. It's a proven system. So if you're not successful here, I promise you need to look in the mirror. And I've learned that the hard way.
And listen, I think everybody has. I mean, if there were people, if everybody just took the advice that was given by the person that had been already there, then we would already be well over $1 billion a year company. Because,
yeah,
I mean, let's face it. I tell everybody, like, when you start this deal, don't spend the money that you make. Continue to live off the budget you've been living off of for the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Just because you tripled it, don't spend it, because you're going to need it. First of all, you should be investing it back in your business. But second of all, Like, let's get that. We got to sacrifice immediate gratification, instant gratification. That's one of the sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
Sacrifice the instant
Mm-hmm.
gratification so you can reinvest back in your business so that you can eventually have a business to where as you do get sick, you are out.
Yeah.
Something does happen. The
Yeah.
money continues to come in and it doesn't affect your lifestyle. But most people are this society is geared and built towards instant gratification. That it's very hard for people to go, you know what, I'm just going to set that there aside and just in case, or I'm going to set that there to put back in a business. They want what they want when they want it. And I think we've all gone through stuff like that. We've all gone through, I don't want to listen to my mentor. I think I'm, and then God, sometimes we might even go, I think I'm smarter than them. Right. I mean, and again, it's not a bad thing. I'm not mad at you, Kayla, if you go, I'm smarter than you, Frank. First of all, you probably are. Second of all, you should think that way if you're trying to get somewhere. You should have a confidence about you,
definitely.
right? It's just you're not egotistical and you're not rude about it. So, dude, I love everything you said today. I think it makes a ton of sense. It drove home with me. And the beautiful thing is now as you're building this thing and talking to agents and helping agents, you'll be able to, and again, not that they'll all listen. The smart ones will, and even the smartest ones will listen to some of the stuff, and they won't listen to some of the other stuff. But you'll be able to prevent them from making some of the mistakes you made. And that's our whole goal when we're trying to get somebody moving is let's prevent them from making the same mistakes I made, right?
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that I've learned with even, recruiting as well now, as far as my approach with it is, my approach to it now is just, putting the information in front of, people and allowing themselves to decide and take, full control of their destiny here because, considering all the adversity that I went through, that completely had nothing to do with FFL, but everything to do with me.
Sure.
It's plenty of opportunities that I could have given up, or could have made excuses for why it's not working, making external excuses.
Point that finger.
Right. But, if anything, I turned it around and I've learned my lessons from it and I was able to come out actually better on the other side. And I understand that not everybody is fortunate to have that skill set. Like in my opinion, perseverance is a skill set in itself because adversity is going to happen. I'm telling you, as a business owner, it's going to happen. It's part of the game. Walmart accounts for those type of losses.
Heck yeah.
CVS accounts for those type of losses. Any business account for certain gains and losses. That way you come prepared for any scenario that life hits you. So, I just learned to kind of train myself to be a little more prepared, to be able to take advantage of all spectrum of the business. Like right now, I know I'm taking advantage of, transitioning to telesales and really trying to, get a little more aggressive on recruiting because I've learned my lesson on why, they always say recruit from day one. And now I understand why.
That's right.
Like that's an important thing to do.
You know why I like you? I love how accountable you are to yourself. And you know how many people look for that external blame so they can point the finger and go, it's not my fault. And I'm sad because, 99% of the reason 99% of the reason is where you are in life is because of you. And if people would understand that and just go, I don't care what goes on outside. There's things that I can do internally and I'm in control of that can absolutely determine where my life is going to go. And you seem to have that attitude, which is very refreshing because a lot of folks don't. And if they did, they would grow a lot faster like yourself. So you are recruiting. I heard you say that. If I wanted to come work with you, Kayla, how would I get a hold of you?
Yes, that's a perfect question. So you can follow me on Instagram. My name is Kayla Bernay on there. KaylaBreneee. Or you can also reach out to me via phone call 202-503-0560. You can also email me as well, fflkayla@gmail.com. So just reach out to me on any platform. I definitely follow up with you because, everybody deserves to have access to this information because anyone can do it. Not everyone can do it, but anyone can do it.
Very true. Well, Kayla, you absolutely killed it today. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Priceless information.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. So, guys, you heard it, like a year and a few months in the business, and tripled her income working. She was making money full time. She tripled that income working part time with us. It works if you work it. Give us a call. We'd love to help you. Kayla would love to help you. Thank you again, Kayla, so much for hopping on it. Guys, until next time, make it a big week.
Thank you. Have a good day, you guys.